If you are ever looking to have more of a one-on-one psychic reading, I highly recommend checking out today's video sponsor, which is Keen. Hello my loves and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a new pick a card reading, but before we hop into it, I wanted to give a huge shout out to Keen for sponsoring today's video. If you have not heard of Keen before, they are essentially a huge online platform full of psychics and spiritual advisors that are there to answer your life's questions. A couple of the things that I really love about Keen is the fact that they are online, so you can log on 24/7 no matter where you live in the world, and you can browse through available psychics, and you also get to choose the amount of time that you want to spend with a psychic. And every psychic also has different price ranges, so you can find the one that matches your budget. And my personal experience with Keen has been great so far. I've had a couple of different psychics that have predicted some really accurate things for me, ranging from my love life, also from my career, which is really cool just to connect to other psychics on there. But personally, I'd also highly recommend trying out a few different psychics before choosing the one that you want to spend the most time with, because every psychic reads a little bit differently. And if you want to find the one that's the most detailed for you and also connects with you the best, I'd highly recommend trying out a few different ones before choosing the one that you want to spend your most time with. And if you want to give Keen a try, you can head to my link trykeen.com/gem to get your first 10 minutes for only $1.99, which can be up to $99 in savings, which is huge. And again, you can use the link trykeen.com/gem to get your first 10 minutes for only $1.99. The link will also be down below in the description box for easy access. And thank you so much to Keen for sponsoring today's video. And without further ado, let's go ahead and hop right back into today's pick a card reading. Hello my loves, what is up, what's going on, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is the October 2023 month ahead prediction. So if you want to know what to expect in your life come this October, then you came to the right place. We're gonna deep dive and try to get as much information as possible about your personal life, what's gonna be happening, what you can expect, maybe possibly things about love or money or other things that might want to pop up that Spirit wants to speak to you about. We're gonna get information for your highest good at this time. And if you are new to these videos, I'm gonna give you a quick little explanation about how it works. So I have 4 different groups in front of me here. We have group number 1, which has some Lemurian quartz on the top of it. So if you are drawn to this pile, this is going to be for you. Group number 2, we have this dendritic agate crystal on top of it. So if you are drawn to this one, that is your group. Group number 3 is associated with the crystal of pyrite. So if you're drawn to that one, that's you. And then group number 4, we have the crystal of shungite. It's a shungite pyramid on top of that one. So again, take a moment, pause the video if you would like, in order to find the pile that you are the most drawn towards. And then once you're done choosing, there's going to be timestamps linked down below in the comment box as well as the description box that you can skip right ahead to your personal prediction all about what you can expect for this month of October. And I also want to mention we just came out with some new stuff on the shop, so if you like crystal jewelry, definitely check out Lunagem. We hand make beaded bracelets and they are gold fill so they don't tarnish in water, and we have some other jewelry on there. For example, this ring is gold fill as well. So again, super high quality, really great stuff. Love it. So all that info will also be linked down below if you're curious. And with that being said, let's go ahead and dive right into today's video. All right, so my group number 1s, if you were drawn to this pile, this is going to be your reading. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. All right, so group 1s, we have the King of Swords, the World, the Justice being reversed, and then the 2 of Swords upright. The first word that's coming to my head in your situation that we have going on over here is the word resolution. If there's currently something that you are facing, or a big choice that you have to make, or something that requires a lot of your attention and a lot of your thought processes, you are going to be finding your answers and reaching conclusions and solutions and figuring things out. Also, Spirit wants you to know right now that you have what it takes to figure out this situation. You have what it takes to reach a clear conclusion. And what I'm really hearing for you is this is the month to trust yourself, to follow what you know is right and follow what you know is going to bring you to the goal and the fairness that you want to reach, you know? And I think that another aspect of this is Spirit wants you to know that something big that's been maybe looming around in your mind is finally coming to a close this month, especially since we have this World card here and the King of Swords. I feel like the King of Swords is representing you. However, it could also represent somebody in your life. And if this is representing somebody in your life, this is likely an air sign person. So that would be a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius type of person. And you are reaching some sort of like decision or closure or kind of resolution. I guess resolution is the best word I can think of when it comes to your group. And this, again, it could be something that you're just like dealing with. It could even be like a work project that you have going on, but it's something that's been looming around in your mind, and possibly even a big conversation that you need to have in your life in order to create more fairness and in order to kind of achieve what you desire. And there might even be part of you that doesn't want to look at certain issues that you're facing right now because maybe it just brings about stress or anxiety and we don't want to deal with it. However, the month of October, you are absolutely like getting that extra wind to face this issue and deal with it and close it out. The World card indicates closing it out, and it also indicates like a celebration, like, yay, I finally did it and I don't have to think about this anymore. It's not looming around in my mind. I'm finding the solutions and the answers that I need. And it could also indicate like needing help with somebody else to like bring something to a conclusion. It can also indicate that. So if that's something also that you've been thinking about, like maybe you've been needing the expertise of somebody in order to help figure out this situation. And if so, you're going to be finding the right information, finding the right people to do the job within the month of October. So again, I know I might be sounding like all over the place here, but again, it's a general reading. So I kind of just point out everything that I see within a group. And I will say it definitely seems like through the month of October, there's this sense of relief because it's like, wow, I did it. I finally did it. And I think it's also helping you realize like your internal strength and your internal ability to solve things and find resolutions and overcome them. And I really feel like you're not going to have to face this problem again because the World card indicates like a closing of a chapter. So whatever it was that you were dealing with, that's just like closing out, and you're able to kind of have a breath of fresh air. And I think it's going to be extremely refreshing for you. And I see that your mentality is going to be returning to balance as well, especially if it's felt out of balance or indecisive about something. Like things are evening out, you're getting the answers you need. And I just see you stepping into this position of power. For some reason, that's really coming out in this reading very strongly, is you stepping into this position of power and really strong communication. I almost wonder if some of you have something that you really need to communicate, or some research that you really need to do, or some deep thinking that you really need to do. I think it's going to be easier than you think, to be entirely honest. Like looking at this layout, I really think that you might be making a bigger deal about it in your head than it actually might be. And I just think like once it's over and done, you're just going to be like really proud of yourself. You're going to be that King of Swords energy, which is such a powerful and reassured type of energy. And it's also like a very like proud energy as well. Proud in the sense of like, all right, look what I did. I did what I thought I couldn't do. I finished the thing that I was so worried and stressed about. And here I am, and I feel good about it. I feel like it was the right thing. I feel like it was the right decision, you know? And yeah, I just feel like it's gonna turn out better than you are expecting it to. So let's go ahead and dive into some more cards here for you. I feel like taking out these two next. We have Mistress of the Labyrinth. My soul knows the way. The only way out is through. This is a month of really facing some sort of thing that maybe you've been putting off, or finally finding the solutions to something that's been causing you a little bit of stress and causing you an imbalance. Where in your life has it been imbalanced? Where in your life have you been avoidant of something or deeply contemplating on something? Where in your life is that? Because your soul knows the way, and the only way out is through. We have to face those things and overcome them. So whatever this wall is that's been confusing or it's been a block for you, the only way out of that scenario is to just burst right through it so you can get to the other side where things are clear and free. Like, the King of Swords is a very free type of energy. It's not clinged on to anything. It's the air energy. So it's like a breath of fresh air. So I really feel like this is the month of figuring out how you can create a breath of fresh air. And also, like, another thing that I'm hearing is looking at things from the perspective of like, this is going to be such a good decision in the long term, right? It might be something we have to deal with right now that's kind of annoying, but it's like gonna be good for us in the long term, and it's gonna help us, again, close out old patterns. So if you don't want this pattern to be following you all the time, like, we gotta face it, right? The next card that we have is Saint Bridget, Our Lady of Exalted Light. Okay, let's zoom in on this. There we go. I give endlessly because the light is without end. My soul is all I need. So I almost feel like there's something that you may be letting go of in the month of October, and realizing that you and yourself, it's all you need. You don't need to cling on to things that are not bringing you what you desire. You don't need to cling on to things that are causing you more stress and more anxiety and more worry, rather than bringing you, like actual happiness and surety and security. So I feel like you're almost like putting your foot down on things that have been stealing away your sense of security and your sense of like trust and all of that. Like, yeah, I see you putting your foot down with that. Okay, and then we also have, Green Tara, the Buddha of enlightened action. So this is the month also of action, which is incredibly powerful. We can change so much of our reality through taking action. Okay, and this says, my soul informs my every step. I do what my heart compels me to do. Woo! Also, I'm getting a lot of heart chakra energy right now because she is full of green. It's the Green Tara, right? And so that's associated with the heart chakra. So what is it in your heart? I do what my heart compels me to do. What does your heart desire? And what's maybe been stopping your heart from exploring or achieving what it is you desire? What does your heart really want? Okay, and I think you know the answer deep within you. I think you know what you need to do deep down inside. It's just about, doing it so that you can enter in that next phase. It's about breaking through that wall so that you can get to the other side of it. So that's coming through as well. I'm also feeling like there's this energy of more abundance, and I'm also hearing like self-love, self-respect, especially since the Justice card is reversed. It can indicate that there's some sort of imbalance. Maybe we are, I don't know, maybe we're confused about certain things, and perhaps one of the best advices to throw out there right now is to respect yourself. Of course, respect others as well, but do so in a fair manner where you're also respecting yourself, also loving yourself, and listen to your soul because it can inform every step of the way. Okay, so let's dive into some more. We have the Willing Release card. And a lot of these cards have been talking about some form of release, some form of letting go. But sometimes the only way to release or let something go is to maybe face and break through something that we're scared of facing or breaking through. So, willing release. I'm also hearing a wish, because a lot of people, they take these like dandelion fluffs and they blow them and make a wish in the wind. And something that I'm hearing for you is making a wish about what you desire and allowing the release of it. I'm actually getting such a deep message right now. Okay, this is deep. Okay, hear me out. Sometimes we desire something, but we're not getting the results that we want because we're too attached to the outcome. So the example that I feel like giving, and of course this could pertain to any area of your life, but the example that I feel like giving is an example in love. So let's say that there's somebody that you're really trying to be with. And let's say they keep kind of leading you on, but they're not really fully committing or something. And let's say that we've been hung on to that outcome for so long and we're wondering, okay, why isn't this working? I'm trying to manifest the love of my life, but it's not working, it's not working, it's not working. Sometimes we have to let things go because we don't realize that we're actually getting attached to the outcome that's not meant for us. So sometimes we need to free ourselves of that so we don't stay stuck. because the universe might be trying to bring you to what's actually meant for you, and it might be somebody else that you haven't met yet, or there might be some other outcome in the works for you. But if we stay stuck on what we think it's supposed to be, we don't allow the magic of the universe to happen, and we stay stuck. So one of the most important things whenever we're trying to manifest anything, whether that's a career, the love of our life, or whatever we're trying to manifest, sometimes we need to let go and detach from the outcome and trust that the universe is bringing us our desire, but it might just be slightly different than what we were previously thinking. The universe knows what's absolutely best for us. The universe knows, because the universe can see all, right? We haven't seen all. Maybe we haven't seen every single career option or opportunity that's out there. Maybe we haven't met every single eligible bachelor or bachelorette out there. So we might be attached to thinking we know who and what it might be, but we actually don't, because the universe might be like, oh my God, like there's somebody that's so much more of a better fit, or there's a career that's so much of a better fit. But if you stay attached to the outcome that's not meant to be, you're going to notice a lot of resistance, right? So this willing release card, sorry about this tangent, but this willing release card reminds me of letting go. And it's very airy. And we have so many sword cards here, like even the Justice card, it's related to Libra, which is an air sign. And also there's a sword on the Justice card as well as the Two of Swords and the King of Swords. Like there's a lot of sword energy, which is again, the air element. And then the willing release is also this air element. So something about you needs a breath of fresh air. It needs to release. And I just see you like sighing out. And I'm almost for some reason compelled to say that breath work might be really beneficial for you in helping you release things. I don't know if you've ever been interested in breath work or if you've tried breath work before, but it can be pretty powerful for some people. But for some reason that's coming to my mind, like being able to release. And maybe you can even just do a sigh of release on your own and just be like, you know what? How good would it feel to let this go so it's not looming in my mind anymore, and I can just let it go and begin to trust the process and trust the universe that I am manifesting what I want, but I need to let go of what's not working for me. I need to find a way to let go of the things that are causing me stress or causing me anxiety. How can we fix that? How we can find the solution so that we can release it? Or again, this could be just an issue that's been popping up in your life that maybe we've been scared to face, or maybe we've been like scared to find the solution to, because it's like we have to kind of face it and deal with it and we don't want to. Imagine the breath of fresh air that you are going to get when you let this go and when you deal with it. Then you are free. Then we're no longer clogged. And I'm really seeing like so much more opening in the heart and throat chakra as you release this thing, because I feel like it's almost been causing a bit of weight or tension in your heart and throat chakra. And I feel like as you allow yourself to be free and you face whatever this is, like, whew, the clarity, the amount of like release within the throat and the heart, like your chest, it just feels like it's so much more open. And through that, I feel like you're going to be opening up a new chapter and being able to manifest things that, like, I just think things are going to start happening so fast. And the air signs, the air element, it's the fastest, quickest moving of all of the elements within tarot. It's the fastest. And so that's also making me feel like all of your manifestations are going to start coming in so much faster when you're able to face this, deal with it, let it go, come back to a trusting space and actually release it. But you have to do it willingly. Willing release. You have to do it willingly. You're saying, okay, I am choosing based on my own free will to let this go so I don't have to deal with it anymore. And so I can be free and allow the guidance of the universe and allow the guidance of my soul to bring me where I'm actually meant to be. And then we have the card, Into Me I See. I feel like you're going to get so much more self-clarity. So much more self-clarity. I feel like this is going to help you see yourself better. I feel like this is going to help you move on with clarity. I see you growing into so much more of a powerful human because of this experience. I see just like this boundless clarity. Like that's what I feel like saying, this boundless clarity of being able to see yourself, your soul, and understand yourself and sort of the workings of life in a better way. And I think eventually you're going to get to this point of seeing like why all of this had to occur and why all of this was going on. Eventually you're going to like be able to look back and see all of that and understand it. And then you're going to be able to see like, oh, now I understand what's meant for me. Now I see myself in a new way. I also think that there's something here with like self-respect, like respecting yourself so much and seeing what it is that you really deserve rather than settling for unfair circumstances, with this justice card being reversed. So rather than like settling for these unfair circumstances, sometimes we have to like take off the mask and fully just see something for what it is so that we can accept it and we can move on from the things that are keeping us stuck. Like the Two of Swords is stuck and she's like indecisive. She's between two different things, right? And so we kind of have to choose something and we have to choose ourselves. I'm seeing you in the month of October choosing yourself. And then we get the Lady of Exalted Light. I give endlessly because the light is without end. My soul is all I need. It's just you. You just need you. And you have you, but you need to choose you. That's something that's coming up, okay? So next few cards, we have the Poet card, inscribe, envision, write, and recite. I feel like there's a conversation. Like the fact that we also have the Poet coming up, there is a conversation that you need to have. Maybe this is writing to someone. Maybe this is writing down your thoughts and feelings in your own personal journal to gain clarity. But in some way, shape, or form, there is communication, and communication is one of the most prominent sort of important things coming up for you in the month of October. I see you taking flight. I see you, honestly, like this is reminding me of, you know, saying something or sending something where we have to just not overthink it. We just need to be like, you know what? I know I need to face this. Let's dive right in. Let's just dive in and figure it out. So yeah, I also see your words coming out so much more eloquently than you're expecting. I'm seeing things like, yeah, going out so much more than like so much easier than you thought. Like you might be reciting certain things in your head and being like, no, I need to like memorize this. I need to have this perfect. I need to like have my communication on fleek. And I think that that's going to help. But at the same time, I feel like this is all going to go easier than you're thinking. And I feel like, again, sigh of relief once this is like dealt with. Okay. Then we have the Artist. I love this. I am seeing a blank canvas moment opening up for you, especially because we had the World card, and the World indicates the ending of a previous chapter. And when we open up a new chapter, if you're the poet, if you're writing your life, of course, when we move on to the next chapter, we have a blank page to write on. So we are the artist, where we can dream, we can design, we can craft, and we create. So you're opening up again like a new chapter of your life where things are going to be like a blank slate for you. A blank slate where you get to be creative, you get to dream up a whole new life. And I really see like you're going to be asking yourself those deep questions of, you know, what do I really want in my life? What do I want my life to look like? If I could write my own story, detached from the old stuff that wasn't working out, because we don't want that anyway. And we don't want to look back. We don't want to go back there. We want to look forward. And if we're looking forward, what's the best new thing to write in this next chapter? What would be the most exciting new thing along this movie? So if you're writing your own script, what would be the most exciting new chapter? What would the audience be cheering for? What would you be wanting to occur if we're not looking backwards and we're moving forward? What would you want to happen in that area? So that's also what I'm seeing over there. Let's dive into some more cards. Also, if some of you are into the arts of any kind, I see that also going really well. The fact that we have the Artist and the Poet. If you are like a speaker of any kind, or if you are creating any art of any kind, I feel like whatever it is that you're going through is almost going to inspire art in some way for you, or inspire a more artistic expression. I also see you becoming just like more artistic because of what it is that you're going through. And I see like this new wave of inspiration, and this rainbow is reminding me of this like new wave of inspiration. This artist right here, like I am seeing shedding of certain tears, but it's like a very healthy and like good feeling to release. And I'm just seeing like it's pouring into something actually productive, and it's pouring into something beautiful. So I see that you're going to be using your emotions and pouring them out in a creative way that's actually going to be really inspiring. And I feel like it's going to lead to really good things for you, where you're going to craft, create, design. And I see you crafting and creating and designing like a new chapter of your life. I think it's going to be really amazing. And if any of you are an air sign, there's so much air sign energy here. Or you might, again, be like you might have a prominent air sign person in your life right now. And again, the air signs are Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You might also have somebody that's giving you really great advice or gaining somebody's help or insight on this situation. I also am hearing that you're finding ways to free up more of your time to do the things that you want to do, again, by releasing certain things or letting go of certain responsibilities and hiring help for certain responsibilities so that you can spend more time focusing on the things that you desire to focus on. That's another aspect that I'm seeing in here. Let's see what else we get for you. So I want to know a little bit more, I don't know, just whatever spirit is wanting to dive into here. Let's see, we have stability, the earth spirit. So going from air, now moving to the opposite, which is earth, stability. If you've been wanting stability and reassurance, you are moving to that stage of your life. I'm also seeing that finances are going to be more stable for you, especially because when we're talking about the earth element, earth is connected to money. And when we have, the card of stability, I'm seeing that you are handling your finances in a better way. And I feel like you're going to be really proud of how you're allocating your money, how you're allocating your finances. I see that you're going to be saving more, and I feel like you're just going to feel good, especially if you've ever had like anxiety recently of looking at your bank account, or if you felt like maybe we were overspending in any way, or if there's been certain financial stresses of any kind, minor or whatever. I just see like more stability in the month of October. I'm seeing that you're more at peace with your finances, just to lay it out clear, but also more stable just within your emotional state as well, and your mental state and your physical state. I just think things are going to be a lot more stable, especially right after you deal with this. It's after you deal with this, which I feel like for most of you, you are going to have dealt with this issue before the 17th of October. I feel like for most of you, this is being dealt with and being seen before the 17th. And again, it's a general reading. So for some of you, this might happen on like the 1st of October. Others of you, this might be happening at the end of September, moving into October, right? And then October might just be this month where we're able to ground ourselves, especially if you've been a lot in your head lately with all the sword energy we have going on, all that air energy. If you've been like way too in your head, this is going to be a grounding month where you are grounding back down, rooting back down into the earth, finding a new area to root yourself, moving on. There's a huge, incredible moving on energy through all of this like wind energy here and moving on, and then re-rooting yourself, growing new roots, growing new leaves, becoming really artistic about how you're going to move through life here on out. And I see again like an inspiration and a magic coming through. Honestly, I feel like this is something, for some reason, it's been giving you anxiety, and I just really feel like afterwards you're like, wow, that's easier than I thought. And even the healing process of like releasing this, getting over this, or the aftermath, I guess, it's just like this sigh of relief, and it's like, oh wow, why was I putting that off for so long? Why was I not wanting to face that for so long? Why was I keeping that on the back of my shoulders and in the back of my head for so long? And I feel like you're just like, wow, I'm so glad I did that. And I just see you finding your balance actually oddly quite quickly after again, and finding like you're rooting quite fast after. Oh, and then we have the success card. I love it. So secret spring, success. I think that there's going to be something to look forward to in your life really soon after. And I see an unexpected, exciting thing happening in the month of October. I'm hearing October 22nd, or around that date for a lot of you, but some sort of like surprise of like, oh, that's fun. Or it could be like a new idea that's coming through, or some other type of surprise that's coming through that's going to like light you up. Some of you might be traveling. This could be like a surprise trip for some of you. Some of you might actually be like, oh my God, unexpected trip plans, spontaneous trip plans, because this boat right here, and it almost just looks like she's pulling that boat. For some reason, that's reminding me of Thailand. But that could be anywhere in the world, but for some reason, the boat's reminding me of Thailand, or Vietnam even, or any other, like, I'm hearing like Southeast Asia. But maybe there's going to be like a special opportunity or something like that where it's like, oh, we're traveling, or, oh, I have an idea. I'm going to go on a road trip. This could even be a road trip for some of you. And it's just like spontaneous, like, that's fun, or that's exciting. Let's do that. Let's jump into this. And yeah, that's coming through. We also have the secret guardian of spring. Oh, we have a lot of spring energy. Spring is the renewal. If you have felt stuck, and if you felt like you've been in the winter stage where things felt frozen, maybe even you felt frozen in certain ways, the month of October, we are springing back into action. And when we think about the season of spring, that's when all the ice melts and things start moving forward. We can take out our boat and we can just sail down the river, because now the rivers are flowing again as the ice is melting and all of that. So I just see that as your energy. Your energy is going to start springing forward, springing into motion, springing into action because of this new activation. There's going to be something new that's exciting, that's going to be activating you. And I'm also hearing that December is going to be a prominent month for you as well. Hold that thought though. I'm going to restart my camera so it doesn't cut out. It's at 29 minutes. Hold on. Okay, we're back. So we held that thought. Yeah, you are going to be springing into action. I'm hearing that December is going to be also a prominent month. So there could also be exciting like things happening in December, or maybe even like a surprise little trip of some kind, like a vacation or road trip or some other kind of like exciting thing that might be coming up for you. And I just see you feeling really activated and really good. I'm also hearing that 2024 is going to be really exciting. These 4 little fairies that are going around on this thing, for some reason, is just like screaming in my mind 2024, and entering the year of 2024 and feeling like you're just excited, and so many things are moving and so many things are activated, and yeah, really, really good energy here. So with that being said, we are going to get into our astro dice. We're going to roll the zodiac sign dice 3 times to get the top 3 most likely zodiac signs to be in your life in the month of October. So let's see who is prominent here. This could be somebody's sun, moon, or rising, or a reflection of your own. We have a Libra coming up. A lot of air energy again. Of course, the air signs are very prominent for you. We also have Leo. Leo again. Leo wants to come through here. And Scorpio. Leo, Libra, Scorpio energy here. These could be some prominent people that you know in your life, people that are also going to be coming up. Again, keep in mind that the air signs are also very prominent for you as well. And then let's roll all these together for any last information for you. Okay, we have Pluto, the planet of transformation, in the zodiac sign of Sagittarius, in the 8th house of transformation. Wow. Things are moving forward for you, especially in the area of attachments. Things that maybe we have been sweeping under the rug, not wanting to deal with, that stuff moving forward this month. I'm also seeing a deep internal transformation. You are transforming your inner world, also a lot of your subconscious. So if subconsciously maybe you believed that you should stay stuck on this issue, or subconsciously you've had certain fears, I see you're transforming those. And Pluto always brings us a gift. So whenever we have Pluto showing up, it is the remover of obstacles. Pluto is the planet of transformation and the remover of obstacles, the remover of chains. And Sagittarius being in the sign of Sagittarius, which is the sign of freedom, the sign of travel, of moving forward, being fully unhinged, also the sign of spontaneity. This is the spontaneity of transforming yourself, of breaking obstacles. And again, Pluto brings us a gift. And we also had that secret spring of success card coming up. So I really think that there's going to be some sort of surprise that is coming in the aftermath of all of these different things. So that is exciting. Group number 1, what a freaking reading over here. That was beautiful. Spirit had so much to say there. So thank you so much for joining me here today. If you made it to the end of this video, I'm sending you all so much love. And until next time, my beauties, bye. All right, my loves, group number 2. If you chose this pile, this is going to be your reading for October. Let's dive in. All right, my loves, group number 2, we have the Page of Wands, the 8 of Wands, so double wand energy in the beginning here. Ace of Cups is being reversed. Then we have the Page of Crystals, which is the Pentacles, and the 3 of Wands. The fact that we have 2 pages here and there are only court cards gives off this feeling that there is something new kind of blossoming in your life in the month of October. This could mean that you have like a new idea that you're like, ooh, I'm kind of curious to pursue that. Or this can even indicate like a new relationship or just something new in your life. Maybe you're wanting to try out a new venture or expand yourself in a new way within this next month. And the Page of Wands indicates that there's like a lot of inspiration here and things might be moving forward really fast, and maybe you just have a lot of ideas going on in your mind. Maybe your mind is getting really creative lately, especially with that 8 of Wands and Page of Wands energy. Things are moving really fast and there's a lot of energy moving forward. And this is now time to utilize that energy before you lose that energy, considering we have Page of Cups being reversed. So you might be in a position where you're having all of these new good ideas and a lot of these inspirations, but this is indicating that it's also the month to take action and move forward and not let your emotions kind of hold you back or your thoughts or worries about the future necessarily hold you back. It is good to have caution and use a sense of caution and think about outcomes. Yes, that is good. But when we overthink about certain outcomes, we overthink different scenarios, it can actually end up hindering us and holding us back from the vision that we have and what we really want to do. And it holds us back from progressing forward because all of a sudden we get way too in our head. We start assuming things that could happen or could go wrong to the point that it again hinders us even exploring or moving further on the thing that was so exciting or inspiring in the beginning. So Spirit just wants to come through with certain advice on that, is to, yes, think ahead, but don't like think too far ahead and then start like, you know, stopping the present success or the present action that could be taken. So that is coming up for some reason in this reading. Also with the Page or the Ace of Cups being reversed here, this can indicate that a certain aspect of ourselves, we might be sort of like afraid to be emotionally vulnerable, or maybe afraid to put ourselves out there, maybe even afraid to put our heart or our creativity out there. And we might be afraid of like, you know, judgment or our emotions not really being taken in the way that we're hoping that they're going to be taken. So there's something here where there's this fear a little bit, I feel like, that might be holding you back from like fully executing certain things, or at least it has held you back in the past. However, with this month though, the fact that we have all of these upright cards, considering the Page of Wands, the 8 of Wands, the Page of Crystals, and the 3 of Wands, I think that this is your month of moving forward. I think this is your month of looking at this reversed kind of or suppressed emotional feeling and looking at that and being like, you know what, I don't want to live like that anymore. I think I want to start taking action. I want to start moving forward and not letting these worries or these fears cloud my vision or my progress in where I'm going. Also, Ace of Cups being reversed can also indicate a lot about self-love. This could also be your month of accumulating and working on a lot of your inner world and creating more self-love, especially if you've been wanting to feel more confident about yourself, your creativity, your love, your emotions, everything about you, right? I feel like you're also working on that inner confidence and that inner worth and that inner love so that you can feel really confident moving forward and making really big moves. And I also feel like that's going to be one of your keys to success, is seeing yourself as worthy, seeing yourself as that full cup and working on filling your cup. So another thing here is to look at your emotions and how have you restricted the flow of emotions when it comes to loving yourself or expressing yourself and expressing yourself in the ways that you want to. In what ways have maybe you held that back in the past, and what ways are you going to open that in the month of October? Because the month of October, I really feel like there's going to be new opportunities coming your way and big action that you can start taking as long as you don't get in your own way, as long as you can fill yourself up with that love. I feel like things are going to really progress for you in your life. So we have that there. Let's also add some more cards onto this reading for you. So the next one that we have is Parvati, the goddess of devotion, staying devoted. Oh, I am a love that doesn't leave. When I commit to love, my soul evolves. Okay. So there's something here where maybe we run from our emotions. Maybe that's why Ace of Cups is reversed. Maybe we try to avoid negative emotions, or we try to avoid even good emotions sometimes because maybe it's a little bit of a scary road. When we're committed to something though, we can make it grow. And this is your month of commitment. The Page of Crystals with the Three of Wands. This is about expanding yourself and looking into the future and beginning to plant certain seeds and make progress towards a future goal, but we do need to commit to it. So if you tend to change your mind really easily or get distracted by so many of the ideas that you have, and maybe we end up not really making a lot of progress on one idea because we have trillions of ideas happening. This is about picking one thing. What is going to fill your cup the most? What do you really, really want? Make that clear. And when you can begin developing that more and more, you begin to kind of ground yourself more and root yourself more to that thing so that you can actually grow it. Because again, a tree, it's not going to grow if it just has one tiny little root in and the rest of its roots are not. Like, it's not going to grow and it's not really going to be very fruitful. However, when you can fully commit and you can be a tree that fully roots into a certain place and a certain thing, then it can grow and blossom and actually be fruitful. So I really think that this is coming down to you committing to something and not going back on it, and also not being like, oh, I don't feel like it today anymore. Like, when the going gets tough, sometimes you have to stick things through. And that's something that's coming up in your reading, is like, even when the going gets tough, sometimes the best thing that we can do is to stick it through. Again, I am a love that doesn't leave. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on yourself. Okay, that's a big message coming through, actually. Don't give up on yourself. I am a love that doesn't leave. Don't abandon yourself. Don't leave your dreams. Don't abandon what you desire. You are worthy of it. When I commit to love, my soul evolves. Commit to loving yourself. Commit to loving the life of your dreams into existence. Commit to loving the life of your dreams into existence. If there's something that you want to achieve, let's commit to it. Let's put our whole heart and soul into it. The goddess of devotion. So I really think that this is your month of learning more devotion and creating more devotion for something that's going to bring you to a further place of success in the future. We also have Yemoja, the goddess of all that flows. This one says, I am an ocean of creative energy. I give birth to what exists within me. If you've been looking for more flow in your life and more fulfillment, because that's also reminding me of the Ace of Cups. When the Ace of Cups is upright, it's overflowing with creativity, with energy, with ideas. It doesn't repress it or hold it back. In what ways have you been repressing or holding back your emotions, which has stopped you from feeling fulfilled or stopped you from, again, moving forward on something. When you can be the goddess of all that flows, tapping into that creative energy and give birth to what exists within you, meaning that you are expressing it, you are allowing yourself to give life to your ideas, give life to what it is that you want so that it can grow and flow. If a seed doesn't get water, it's not going to grow. If a tree isn't fully planted into the ground, it's also not going to be able to grow. Like, we got to fully plant it, fully commit, water it, do all the things for it to come to fruition. And we also have the red goddess. I love when she comes up. I think she's one of my favorite cards. So the red goddess, playfulness is a spiritual power. Laughter leads me back to the light. I feel like this is also a month of returning to the fun of life rather than taking it so seriously or so harshly. So when it comes to your emotions, we can also express our emotions and look at our emotions, but look at it from a different perspective. We can look at it from the perspective of, okay, these are my emotions. Let me look at them. Let me like laugh at myself a little bit. I'm not going to take myself so seriously and get harsh with myself. Instead, I'm going to step into my power and I'm going to look at my emotions and all these things from a place of power. And I'm going to just call my power back so that I can make big moves in my life. Like, your emotions want to be expressed in one way, shape, or form, whether that be creatively or if you have love that wants to be expressed or whatever it is. Like, this is your time to call your power back and lead life in this playful way. Like, have fun with this. Have fun with your ideas and allow yourself to be creative. Don't restrict yourself and judge yourself and be like, no, that was a dumb idea. How dare I like think about doing that? Or, like, sometimes we can overly judge ourselves and it steals our light. It steals our fulfillment. It steals our flow, So laughter leads me back to light. This is your month to just like not take yourself so seriously, get back into the flow of things, have fun, like enjoy yourself, even do something spontaneous for yourself. The Eight of Wands can also indicate like just diving into something without overthinking it. I think that you're going to be the most successful this month by not overthinking certain things, and doing what makes you feel excited and full of love, full of joy, bringing that fulfillment back to yourself. I feel like that's like one of your keys right now that Spirit really wants you to be aware of. So let's dive into some more cards here. We have the Way Shower. So this says usher, decide, discern, defend. I also see that this month is like opening up new doors in your life and ushering yourself to actually go through those doors, take those chances towards what you desire. Defend what it is you love. And so if you had that little voice in your head that's like, no, that's stupid, stop doing that, or don't take action in this way, like stop that, whatever. Defend what it is that you want. Be like, no, you know what? This is what I want to do. This is what makes me happy. I don't care what other people think. I don't care what other people are going to say. I'm going to do what fulfills me. I'm going to be the way shower. This is about you being a way shower, because sometimes I feel like maybe you have ideas that are really outside of the box and maybe you don't know anybody else that's on that same path. Step into your way shower energy, and I feel like you are going to open up doors for yourself because you can be a way shower. We also have awakener. So fortify, soar, emerge, strengthen. I also see that this month, I'm also seeing you waking up earlier to like get stuff done. The awakener energy is just giving that energy here of waking up earlier, but also this energy of calling your power back, which we had with the red goddess as well, calling your power back. So soar, emerge, strengthen. Strengthening yourself to not, fall into doubt or worry or feeling like you need to suppress yourself or suppress your emotions. This is embracing those. And again, I'm just seeing like this is a month of embracing a lot of self-love as well. We also have a merry motive. Oh, this card reminds me of Wish Upon a Star, but also creating your own stars, because as we can see, she's like or she or he or whatever, has hung up these stars on a clothesline. And it's almost like she or he went through a process of making those stars. So this is about you making your wish, not waiting for something else to grant that wish. It's more like, I'm motivated to create my own destiny. I'm motivated to take my own chances and, make my own dreams happen. I see like a wizarding energy coming out through this of making your own luck, making your own wishes, and finding ways to take action on those things. I see a lot more motivation coming out this month and an urge to move forward, an urge to break through, an urge to overcome anything that's held you back. I'm seeing so much more motivation. Also, there's like, again, something new sort of coming in that I feel like you're going to be adding into your life. I also see you being more active because we have so much wand energy here. Like we have the Page of Wands, the Eight of Wands, and then the Three of Wands. The wand energy is very active. So this is also a very energizing month for you, to say the least. We also have the Awakener. Like this is a very energizing month for you. Some of you may be taking your workouts more seriously. Maybe you're also expanding the ways in which you are active. Maybe you're like, oh, I want to start going to the gym more regularly, or I want to take up this new exercise thing, or I want to, do this other whatever. It's more active. Like there's more action being taken in the month of October, and a lot more inspiration. You may also even be more into like a spiritual philosophy in the month of October as well. You might be exploring new spiritual ideas and you're like, ooh, I want to learn more about that. I want to expand this area. And you might even be interested in taking a course on something, or deep diving into Googling stuff or researching different things, because I feel like you're really interested in expanding yourself, expanding your mind and your philosophy and your beliefs in the month of October. Okay, we also have the spirit of gratitude. This could also be a practice that you start adding in if you haven't already. You might start practicing a bit more gratitude, being really thankful. For some reason, I'm seeing you like being thankful for like a drink that you're holding in your hand, and maybe you're like speaking into it, being like, thank you so much for this tea, this coffee, whatever it is you're drinking. I just see you like being actually like really grateful for just the small things in life, which I think are gonna fill you with more love and really good energy. So for some reason that's coming through too, is like just this energy of being more grateful. I also see that there's going to be like gestures, like really nice gestures that you're going to become really appreciative of. This could even be gestures that have already happened to you in your past, or gestures that are coming through in the month of October from the people that you really love or the people that you're really close to. I just see like really kind gestures and this energy of like, wow, like thank you for thinking of me, thank you for being here and whatnot and all that. So we also have the land between. So traveling, kind of like moving into a new space, moving into a new idea. I think that you're getting outside of your comfort zone in the month of October, expanding out of your comfort zone, because I feel like this land, like over here, you were like, okay, like this is comfortable, I'm familiar with this, but I see that there's just like this interest. There's something that's calling your interest in a new direction. It's like, ooh, try me out, or try this new thing, or do this, or whatever. It's been calling you, and I think that this is your month of kind of like taking that step into the unknown and being like, okay, let me explore that new realm a little bit. Let me like dive into that new idea a little bit more and give it a chance. And yeah, I see you diving into that a bit. This could also be you like, yeah, getting outside of your comfort zone, maybe even expressing yourself in a new way and moving to this new kind of place and being like, okay, I'm going to leave behind what I'm familiar with. And I almost see it's like, for some of you, this could come out in the form of like, I'm going to take a little chance on something and try this out. Or it could be like, I've had this idea for a while. I'm actually going to start like playing around with this and taking action on it and seeing what happens and seeing what goes on. So I just see you doing that as well. We also have the Forest Temple of Enlightenment coming through. Yeah, I see you gaining the wisdom that you need, and I see you being more curious to expand your wisdom. I think for some of you, this is like expanding like your spiritual wisdom, like what you believe in, what your faith is, gaining new knowledge to kind of like help build you and your thoughts, your mind, your spiritual realm. We also have, let's see, we have the Mystic Meadow of Sanctuary. And it's interesting we have the Sanctuary and Temple both showing up, because a temple and a sanctuary is something that's very like respected. And so there could also be this aspect of really wanting to be more cautious about what you're feeding yourself or what you're consuming. And maybe you're focused more on treating your body more like a temple, more like a sanctuary, and being a lot more cautious about, again, what you're putting into it. So you might even learn different things this month that you're going to become more aware of, such as like, oh, I don't want to like consume all these plastics, you know, because when we eat things that are like in plastic, sometimes we're actually getting some plastic in our diet. Or you're going to be more cautious with, you know, other things. I'm just throwing out plastic as an example, but like of course this could take so many different forms. Like it could be like the products that you use and wanting to be a little bit more conscious or something, you know. And we also have the stag spirit of leadership. Stepping into that leadership vibe. Something's calling you to be more of a leader and to kind of like really take the reins of your life. I also see your head is standing taller, like in the month of October. It's like you can sit up taller. You're more confident. You have this sort of different poise about you going into the month of October, and especially because of like this self-love that you are diving deeper into, kind of creating your life to be more beautiful. Oh, I'm also seeing with this sanctuary card, I see you really like cleaning up your home and making like a sanctuary, making a space where you feel like, oh, I can relax and I feel good. I see you feeling really good in your home for some reason. So maybe some of you are motivated to like get rid of old stuff, or maybe you're really motivated to like change things around or clean it up in a certain way that's going to make you feel like that you're in a sanctuary. I feel like you're wanting your home life to feel more like this beautiful, relaxing sanctuary. And I just see you like as this little bunny right here, and you're going to be looking at all of your work and all of what you've done, and you're like, look at all of this. I'm so proud of this. And it's like, you know, you're holding your cup of tea again that you're like giving your gratitude to or whatever, and just like looking at things with such satisfaction from this place of like, look at this. This is so nice. Let me relax in this. This is so fun. So that is what I see right here for you. And it's very interesting. You're attracted to our purple dendritic agate. This is a stone of like deep transformation and of protection. So if you've been protecting yourself, protecting your emotions, protecting your heart, or all of that, I see that you're going to have like the courage to expand beyond in the month of October, to sort of open yourself up more and to explore, to take a chance with something, to kind of like make your own luck, make your own path. I just see so much more confidence, so much more leadership in your life through the month of October. So that is what we have there. Let's go ahead and dive into our Astro dice. We're going to take the zodiac sign dice. We're going to roll it 3 times to get the top 3 most prominent zodiac signs to likely be in your life through the month of October. I also want to say that the fire element's really prominent for you, since we had so many fire cards. The fire signs are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So those might be really prominent, but we're also going to roll this to get some Astro dice wisdom. And let's see, the common zodiac signs for you. We also have, sorry, that was Virgo. I said Libra. That was definitely Virgo. We also have Scorpio. So Virgo, Scorpio, and Pisces. Virgo, Scorpio, and Pisces energy is also very prominent for you. Those may even be one of your signs. And now let's go ahead and roll all of these together to get any last information for you. Okay, we have Venus, the planet of love, beauty, and money, in the zodiac sign of Pisces in the 5th house. The 5th house is about fun. It's kind of like the spotlight energy, but it's also about like the dating, the pleasure. It's all the dating, pleasure, children, fun type of house. That's what it kind of represents here. So I see that you are going to be having a lot more like fun in your life, especially you might even have more fun being you. Venus, the planet of love, beauty, and money. Being able to enjoy what you work so hard for. Being able to invest in yourself to make yourself feel good. Like you might even go through a process of reinventing yourself in the month of October or doing something really nice for yourself. I also see a lot more self-love being cultivated through having fun with what you're doing, through not taking yourself so seriously or so harshly, but instead just having more fun and more laughter, which is something that deeply came up in your reading. Also with the zodiac sign of Pisces here, this is like a transformation, going deep, allowing yourself to be creative. And even when it comes to your deep inner thoughts, like let's have fun with our deep inner thoughts. Let's change our deep inner thoughts to be something that's a little bit more fun, a little bit more playful. I see like an attitude shift happening for you. And this attitude shift is going to help you shift a lot of your perspectives on things in life. So for example, I see you becoming more playful and more fun and more creative with your own self and your own mind and your own mentality. So for example, if you've ever like watched a show where like there was a character that was just so playful no matter what was happening, like even if they made a mistake, they were able to sort of like laugh about it, joke with themselves about it, and not take it so seriously. Like they still obviously took note of the mistake, but they're not like overly fixated on it. They're not going to dwell on it, right? They're just going to kind of like laugh it off and be like, okay, definitely made that mistake. I'll own it. I'll look at it. It's fine, you know, and then move on. And then, you know, when they're just being themselves, they're like, okay, this is me. And even if somebody judges them or doesn't understand them, they don't like dwell on that either. And they don't try to like change their mind or change their opinion. They're kind of just look at it from this place of like, all right, okay, like you do you, I'll do me. Like, that's fine. So I just see this more lighthearted energy coming out for you and developing through the month of October. And that's what we have here. Group number 2, ooh, deep transformations, lots of fun energy. Also, when it comes to your finances, I'm seeing like you probably have a little bit extra to plan something fun for yourself, just since we have Venus in the 5th house here. So maybe you've been saving up for something. Maybe you've been saving up for like more freedom to enjoy yourself a little bit. And you might be exploring a little bit of that in the month of October. So thank you so much for joining me here today, group number 2, for your October reading. I am sending you so much love through your month of October. Tons of transformations and like good energy being cultivated and coming out. Highly recommend the practice of gratitude to stay balanced, to stay feeling good. And yeah, sending so much love to you. And until next time, bye. All right, my group number 3s. If you chose this pile, this is going to be your reading. So let's dive right in. All right, group 3s. We have the Fool card coming out for you. We have the Empress. Empress is reversed, Justice is reversed, but 3 major arcana cards to start us off. And then we have 2 Pentacle cards, the King of Rings, which is the King of Pentacles, and then the Spirit of Rings, which is the Knight of Pentacles. So, here we have a reading. So many things to say. Let's start off in the beginning. The Fool card. This is about taking a chance on something. Maybe you've been thinking about something. Maybe there's a new opportunity or a new idea that has come to you and presented itself. And this is kind of like when we decide to take a leap of faith on something and we're like, okay, let me just like dive in and see what happens. It's something that we maybe haven't explored before. We don't know how it's going to turn out. And maybe we're a little bit nervous. Maybe we're trying something new or trying out something different. And we're just seeing if it works. We're just diving in. And this is like a card that says, just go for it. Just go for it. You are ready. Don't wait any longer. Don't question things. Don't overthink things. Just dive in and see what happens. Even this card right on it says optimism and freedom. So it's kind of like having this optimistic outlook of like, okay, let me dive right in and see what happens. I feel good about it. So let me do it. Let me dive in and try it out and see. It's also like this card of this freedom. So I think you're letting a little bit more of your wild side out a little bit in the month of October, and you might be a little bit more unrestrictive with yourself because I feel like you're desiring more freedom. Maybe you're desiring more independence. Maybe you're desiring to free up more of your time, so you're going to try out something new. Or maybe you're desiring to dive into something new that's going to bring you this new sense of adventure or this new sense of freedom in your life. So, very fun energy right there. We also have the Empress being reversed, and this one's very interesting. So this can talk about our like inner critic being very strong to the point where maybe we've dealt with like, self-image issues. Maybe we doubt ourselves a lot. Maybe we're really hard on ourselves, or even when it comes to like what we're trying to do, maybe we don't think we're ready yet. Maybe we don't think we have enough skills to bring to the table on a new venture that we're going for. But I feel like you're just working on things, maybe even doing things a little bit more in the background and a little bit more private, and you're developing your skills on something. And I think that you're learning how to grow and to cultivate something really beautiful here. I do think that you're working on self-image in the month of October. Like, I think you might even be experimenting with like new looks or trying out new things to help you feel your best and to bring out the best of you. I feel like that's something that you're going to be exploring, and working on like speaking to yourself in a much nicer way. But I do also think at the same time, sorry, there's like so much that I have to say. At the same time though, I see you developing a skill, and you might be hard on yourself at first because you might be like, oh, whenever I do this, like it comes out like shit. And so, and you might be like hard on yourself in those ways and working on improving yourself. But I do see you putting a lot of work in, like you're putting a lot of work into this new thing or this new expansion that you are wanting to do. And so yeah, I just see you developing that and working on your self-talk, because I do think you have a vision in mind. This King of Pentacles is making me feel like you have an end goal and you're like, okay, just see myself in my end goal. How can I work on getting there? I think some of you, you're really taking your fitness seriously in the month of October. For some of you, this is like a creative side project. Like maybe you're wanting to expand yourself creatively, but as you kind of expand in this new direction, you might not be that good yet. You might not have all the skills that you kind of wish you had already, but you're developing them though. You have this end goal, and I see you putting a lot of effort and work in through the month of October to lead you to that end goal. The Justice card being reversed kind of like gives this energy that maybe we're being a little bit unfair with ourselves, because maybe our expectations of where we should be is a little bit like unreachable at the current moment. It's not saying you can't get there, but it's like maybe you're expecting too much of yourself right away, but that's okay. Like you're on this shift, you're on this like wild release of, releasing a new aspect of yourself, and it's sort of like you get to explore this new adventure and, let your wild side out a little bit, let your creative side out a little bit and have fun, right? So some word of advice from Spirit that Spirit really wants you to know is like, don't be too hard on yourself. Yes, keep your vision in mind because you are capable of reaching that. So yes, look at your work and, see how you can improve it, because you'll be able to get to a space where you are ultimately so proud of things. The King of Pentacles indicates that you're developing a certain skill and you will get to the point where you're like, oh yeah, like that's what I'm talking about. That's the end result I was looking for. That's what I was going for. And this could be, within like your physical body and your physical health. Maybe you have that vision in mind and you're actually going to get there. You're going to accomplish that. Or again, it's another different type of skill that you're working on that you are going to be accomplishing. I also see you getting a lot more organized as well in the month of October. So the King of Pentacles and then the Knight of Pentacles, both of these talk about scheduling things and being on top of your schedule and your routine. So I do think that they're like, you might be just organizing your life more, organizing your life maybe even differently so that you follow a new routine. Maybe you're adding on new things. I see you being really dedicated to learning and improving yourself. and learning what you need to in order to create that end result that you've been envisioning. But I see that, there's so much exciting energy for you, my group threes. Can't talk right now, but there's so much exciting energy because I see this like new idea that's being born. The Empress indicates like a new thing that you're birthing into this world. It could be a new you that you're birthing, or it could be like a new venture that you're birthing, or a new vision that you're birthing. And then the Fool, of course, indicates like a new adventure as well, and opening up that new chapter and just diving into it, not questioning it, not delaying it, by the way, not delaying anything, just deciding that, hey, I'm gonna just dive right in, because the only way to learn, the only way to grow is to dive in. We just need to dive into it. And I see you're actually going to be learning and improving quicker than you think. I am hearing the words 3 months. 3 months, I think that you are going to make so much progress to where you're at this King of Pentacles energy. And even by the end of the month of October, I feel like even by the end of October, you're already getting like really proud of yourself. Maybe it's not the full perfect vision quite yet, but you're getting to the point by the end of October where you're like, okay, like I'm seeing some real progress here. And, you know, I feel like that amount of progress that you're reaching by the end of October will already be so inspiring and so energizing, and it's going to fuel you to like go even further, because I think that you're seeing how fast you can grow. You're seeing that you have these capabilities, these skills that can be grown. And maybe you're even going to like take a little side course on something, or maybe you're currently in school for some of you, or currently taking a course of some kind. But I see you developing and learning and being, again, so proud of yourself. And I know I keep repeating that, but I feel like that's something that needs to be repeated. I feel like, yeah, like the whole month of October is this growth month for you. And reaching so much progress where you're like, oh yeah, and that you're really excited. And 3 months from now, I feel like specifically again, 3 months from now, which brings us to what, like the end of December or something, you're going to have made enough progress to where you feel like the King of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles, he's the king. He's the king of the Pentacles. He's the king of like all of that. So you're going to feel in the position where, again, you're really proud of yourself. And I feel like you're also going to have something to show for it. I keep getting this vision, like you're going to have something to show. So maybe you're excited to show off your work, to show off your progress. And you're excited to show people what you've done, what you've accomplished, what you've created. And you're like excited to show it off. Not in like a braggadocious way, but more in a way of like, look at what dedication and work can bring you. Look at what it can do. I just see that you're gonna be on this high, you're gonna be really proud of yourself. And that's a feeling like nobody should take that away from you. You know what I mean? Be proud of yourself, because you're going to be putting in the work and you're going to be doing the schedule, getting organized. I feel like you're getting your life together. Like the Pentacles are all about having your ish together, where your meal plans are on point. You know, you're sticking to the meal plans, but then you're also sticking to your household chores. You're upkeeping them in a way where you're all like zen and feeling kind of perfect, you know? And then you're also upkeeping those new habits, those new skills, those new learnings, keeping up with your career and whatever. You're like really put together. And I see that you're going to be really proud of yourself for the progress that you're making in all those areas. And I just see you like more zened out because of like the feeling of accomplishment, the feeling of progress is like making you feel so proud that it doesn't really feel like hard work, even though there is hard work still, you know, but it's like feeling good about it. So let's dive into our next few cards here. We have Skemmet, the Red Lady. I am pure strength. I honor my anger by giving voice to it. Ooh, that's powerful. So I honor my anger by giving voice to it. I wouldn't be surprised if some of you get into the practice of journaling or becoming more aware of your thoughts, which I think is what you're doing over here with this Empress and Justice being reversed. Maybe there's been some angry thoughts that you've had. Like maybe in the recent past, you've been a little bit maybe like angry with yourself because maybe we haven't been making the progress we wanted to previously. However, October is obviously clearly a different story, but maybe you're like starting to kind of see where you've been frustrated with yourself, where you've been falling short. And I feel like this is the month where you're going to be honoring that anger by giving a voice to it. You're actually going to be like being like, okay, let me just hear myself out. Let me look at the reasons why I'm getting frustrated with myself and let me like fix it. Let me fix these things. Let me start speaking good to myself and like taking action in ways that I'm going to make myself proud instead of making myself like frustrated. I see you taking action in new ways. I see you putting a lot of like effort and planning into your goals and actually seeing like real tangible success. I'm also seeing you making more money, to be honest with you. I see before the end of the year, you're going to be in a position where you're like, all right, that work paid off. Like seriously, I think by the end of this year, your hard work is paying off where you're zen about it. You're totally like in this zen position of like, this card is reminding me of like giving yourself a pat on the back. Like you're like, okay, we did it. Responsibility and abundance is what this card says. So it's like you're really taking on this responsibility of these goals, but it's leading you to so much abundance. And then what does this one say right here? It says productivity and endurance. Yeah, I mean, you're being productive. The month of October is setting out a plan and you're being productive. You're meeting all your expectations. You're meeting all of those goals because you're laying ones where you're like, okay, I know what I'm capable of. I know what I can do. Let me do it. So yeah, anyway, you're honoring your strength by giving voice to it. And I feel like you're going to become so much more at peace with yourself because you're really hearing yourself out. You know, you're giving yourself a voice, but it's also being that motivation to help you make those changes, right? And then we also have here the Princess of Mercy. Giving is receiving. The energy of the universe is merciful. Oh, I'm seeing like forgiveness. And like, again, this kind of returns back to the idea of being less harsh with yourself. Like, yeah, you're giving your anger a voice, but you're also being able to receive it in a way that is like, okay, like I understand my frustrations here and I'm going to look at that, but I'm going to do something about it, you know? So it's not like returning and showing up constantly. And I'm just seeing you also, again, giving yourself like mercy with this, where you're like, okay. And it's just like this peaceful sort of like talk with yourself. I'm seeing like a lot more peaceful conversations with yourself happening. We also have the prophetess of true power. I call my power back from all times and places and all places. I am my own. So where have you like given up your power before? Have we given up our power in like the face of hardship before? Or have we given up our power in the face of like other people? I see you like really calling your strength and power back. You know, the people that just like, they just pick up their ish and they just get it together, even in the face of like hardship or adversity or stress or whatever. They just pick it up and they're like, let me do this. Let me get this together. I see that like that main character energy coming out for you. And by the way, you're always the main character of your own story, but I just see you kind of like owning that main character energy, stepping into that power and doing that total overhaul and total change. I can't even think of like an exact movie right now where I've seen this before, but I know I've seen tons of movies with this kind of like character arc where the character might be, you know, going through a time where they're really hard on themselves, they're frustrated, they're not making the progress that we want, but then all of a sudden they have this like awakening moment, this enlightening moment, and they're like, let me freaking change my life around. You know, they turn on that inspiring, like motivational music and all of a sudden they start like doing a rehaul, planning, getting it together and like making all the progress. Oh, you know what is a good example of this? Like Legally Blonde. That's such a good example of this. Like when she goes through that breakup, she thinks she's about to get engaged to the love of her life. And all of a sudden she gets broken up with and she's like, wait, what? And she's devastated. But then all of a sudden she's like, you know what? I'm going to take my power back here. I'm going to all of a sudden like go to law school. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to like show them all. But I feel like you're doing that to yourself. Like you're showing yourself like, hey, I have what it takes. I'm gonna like, whoo. So I feel like you've been kind of embarking into that energy lately, group number 3. And I feel like you've been really thinking about up-leveling yourself, reaching that new height, reaching that new goal, reaching a new level of success, reaching a new level of accomplishment. And whew, that is what you were doing in the month of October. We also, oh, look at this card. I'm taken aback. The power of purpose, hitting the target, hitting the goal. Need I say more? The month of October, you have a target, you have a clear vision of where you want to go, where you want to end up. And when you create a purpose behind that, like when you really define a strong purpose, you become unstoppable. Purpose is one of the most motivating, powerful forces of the entire universe. So if you haven't created a purpose behind your desire yet, I highly recommend doing that. I'm sure some of you already have. However, if you haven't, like let's say that you want to get in the let's say you want to get in the best physical shape of your life, you know, for your health and to feel good and whatever. Let's say that you create a purpose behind that of like honoring yourself, of creating a healthy physical mind, body, and soul. Because when we get our physical fitness in check, it creates better mental health, it creates better emotional health and all that. So for example, if you create that purpose behind it and there's such a meaningful purpose, like you could even create it more meaningful than what I just said. That was so like fluff compared to how deep you could probably take that, you know, but if you create a purpose behind what you're doing, let's say you want to hit a target and you want to like be a content creator or something. If you create a real purpose behind that, you will take things to a whole new level. And so what I'm seeing for you is like creating this powerful purpose behind what you're doing. And that is going to be a motivating force for you. And people see that. People can feel when you have like a deep purpose behind what you do. And it's otherworldly, right? So anyway, the point of this card, I see you creating a deeper purpose behind what you're doing, and I see it being a powerful, powerful, motivating force, and it's also going to help you call your power back because you're going to feel so justified. The Justice card, you're going to feel so justified for taking big action. And by the way, I see you taking big action. The Fool card, the Empress, like we have so many major arcana cards, and we have the King of Pentacles and also the Knight of Pentacles. There's so much movement. There's so much force. There's big moves that you're doing in the month of October, even if it doesn't feel like it. Also, our next oracle card is the Earth Magic card. Finding the abundance, feeling that connection, rooting yourself into a purpose. This is also where we cultivate magic and we feel like magic is coming up through our feet. So this is like the inspiration. Inspiration is finding you. It is energizing you. And I think it's connected to the deep purpose that you're going to be sort of kind of creating behind what it is that you're doing. Through that deep purpose, it's like you are pulling up the energies of the universe to support you, to help you, to guide you on this journey. The month of October, it's like, yes, let's go. This card is also reminding me like your spirit team is going to be around you, really helping support you in these moves and in these changes that you're going to be making. I also see things really working out for you. Like the earth is working its magic. So another thing that I'm hearing for you is to trust the process. Even if there's days that show up that are frustrating or hard or difficult, or if you feel like you have writer's block on one day, that's okay. What I'm really seeing and what the universe wants you to know for the month of October is that the universe is really working with you. Like, it is sending you the magic of all the medicines of what we need and all of what you need to get where you need to go. So have that trust and have that faith because there's magic working through you this month. I feel like the universe is really supporting you in the direction that you're going and really supporting this growth and up-leveling yourself to really begin also loving yourself, like creating time to love yourself into that motivation, love yourself into that purpose, into that power. You know, cultivate that. Like that is your driving magic in the month of October. So let's go ahead and dive into some more cards here. We have the Caretaker card. Also love that this one came up. This one has tons of different layers to it. So it says end, reunite, serve, accompany. The Caretaker. This is a month of really caring for yourself, especially if you've put off some things, with this Empress being reversed. Like if you've been like putting off your skincare routine sometimes, or if you've been denying yourself of like pleasure, or denying yourself of the care and love that you desire and that your body and soul wants and needs and craves, if you've been denying yourself that because of like maybe you're not living up to your expectations right now, this is a month to change that. This is a month to care for yourself, in the sense that when you care for yourself, you're also going to inevitably feel more motivated and purposeful to make these big changes in your life and to live up to your expectations. But it's going to require also caring for yourself along the way so that you have the energy to even do that, right? So this is that month of balance. The Justice, when it's reversed, indicates that there's been an imbalance. So where have you been maybe imbalanced in your energy? Have you been denying your feminine energy lately and only focused on the masculine, action-oriented energy, whereas the feminine is like, you know, the nurturing, the rejuvenating type of energy? Caretaker. Don't forget this month to take care of yourself along the way, because again, this is a very action-oriented month for you, and I do think it's going to be incredibly beneficial to also focus on self-care in between that. And don't look at it as like another action to tick off the list, you know what I mean? Because that's a masculine way of doing that. Instead, when we kind of create a more time-blocked schedule where we set our hours of work, we set our hours of action, but then we also set aside like an hour, whatever you have time for, obviously, and you set aside time to be in your feminine, where it's not an action thing that you're ticking off. It's not something where you're like, I have to do self-care tonight, I have to do this. It's more of a time of free. It's a time of like, you get to do whatever you feel like. Do you feel like doing a face mask and doing a spa night? Then do it. Do you feel like relaxing and just having a cup of tea and going to bed early? Do that. Set aside for your feminine, rejuvenating, nurturing energy to happen so that you can nurture yourself in whatever it is that you need in that moment. Let it be intuitive, because again, the feminine energy is intuitive. It's not something that like plans ahead to take action. So hopefully you're getting the idea of the differences between that and the power of having a balance of both of those. So let's say you like work for 8 hours a day, or maybe even more if you're a business owner. Cough, cough myself. Works like 12 hours a day, if not more. But anyway, when we can schedule time to be in our feminine energy, which is also something that I'm working on, so I would not be surprised if this was also like a group that I would pick in this reading. But anyway, we're getting a little bit personal now. The Empress card, schedule out time to allow your intuition to speak to you about how you want to be nurtured in that moment, right? So that's the point. Hopefully that makes sense. That's our Caretaker card. We also have the Sovereign card, reclaim, preserve, govern, remember. Ooh. The Sovereign also, by the way, is usually like the Queen kind of energy, and the Sovereign is also freedom. So we're reclaiming our freedom as well. And we reclaim the ability to govern our own life and not be a slave to our life, you know? So we're not a slave to our schedule, right? We are free. We are the governor of our schedule. So I think that you're kind of like calling your power back so that you don't feel like your responsibilities have a hold of you, but instead that you have a hold of your responsibilities, right? Do you see like the dynamic difference in that? So I feel like you're calling back your power, you're calling back your freedom. I think that if you are someone who tends to like work on the weekends, or let's say that you work from home and it's just so convenient to do your work throughout the day, and it's almost hard to maybe even relax at home, or whatever the case may be for you. Maybe you've fallen into those like tendencies of letting your responsibilities take away your freedom, and maybe you haven't like scheduled out like I'm only going to work when I'm in my office from this hour to this hour. And then other than that, I'm at home and I have my freedom. So you're reclaiming your power and your governing of your own life. Of course, certain responsibilities do need to be taken care of, but we can actually schedule a proper like window of time for that. So we also still honor our windows of time that we get to ourselves. Powerful. And the Leo, I see that you're going to be creating more boundaries. This Leo energy is about reclaiming your power and setting boundaries. I think that you're going to be a lot more aware of the fact that you might need to set boundaries in your life lately when it comes to time to study, time to work on things, time to do your work, time to answer emails, all the things. So a lot more freedom comes when we set boundaries, we reclaim our power, we claim the sovereign governance over our life rather than being restricted or held on to and like a slave to our life. So anyway, hopefully that dynamic is making sense. Let's dive into some more cards for you. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's start with this one right here. Our beauty card. Let's start with this. The fact that we have the Empress being reversed and then we have the Wood Nymph beauty coming up. Some of you, I'm definitely hearing the message that you've been hard on yourself when it comes to your self-image. This is the month to begin loving yourself, right? And self-love is a journey. So maybe you've already begun that journey, but I feel like this month, it's like taking it a step further to really start to see your own beauty. And are there certain things that are gonna help you see your beauty more? Also this month, I wouldn't be surprised if you are adding something new to your routine that makes you feel more beautiful, like such as maybe creating a better hair care routine so that you can reach your hair goals, right? Or creating a better skincare routine so you can reach your skin goals, or creating a better like physical fitness routine to reach your health goals, whatever that may be, whatever that might look like for you. I feel like you're going to be experimenting a little bit more with your beauty and finding ways to really love yourself more. And maybe you've been thinking about changing things up because maybe you feel like you need a refresh. Maybe you feel like you need a reset when it comes to your image. And so maybe that's also something that you're going to be working with. Maybe you're going to go get your hair done, or like whatever the case may be. It can be different for each of you. Again, it's a general reading, but there's some sort of renewal of you, of your image. And I think that you're creating some sort of like reset, some sort of renewal in that area. So you might be inspired again to like go get your hair done, or doing something to again refresh yourself and how you view yourself. It's going to make you feel better, right? We also have the eagle spirit of freedom. Freedom, freedom, freedom. I feel like that one's also piggybacking off of our sovereign, reclaiming your power, creating more freedom in your life, creating more time and openness for you and to have more of that freedom in your life. I'm also seeing that come the end of the year, because you're creating more like stability and financial success. Also, I'm so sorry my camera cut out somewhere and I don't know where it cut out, but renewal of beauty basically was coming up. So some sort of new like beauty thing coming into your life where you're going to be doing something to kind of glow up in the month of October. It's going to make you feel a lot better. And I think that there might be new like regular routines that you're adding into your life to kind of like level up your beauty and kind of create a renewal sort of glow up for yourself. The freedom card is like piggybacking on this sovereign card. And with this, it's sort of like creating more freedom in your schedule and creating more time to create the life that you love. You know what I mean? So like when you're building your dream life, if you are again being like, obstructed by your schedule and you feel like your schedule has a hold of you rather than you having a hold of your schedule, we're kind of like creating and cultivating a life that we don't really love. But I feel like you are realizing lately that you do want to cultivate more freedom. You're wanting to call in more freedom for yourself. That's going to be one of the biggest things that you are working on in the month of October is creating a life that you love to live by finding ways to actually create more freedom for yourself. I feel like the month of October is really leading you down that rabbit hole of spreading your wings, opening up to new things, and creating and finding ways to create more freedom in your life. I do feel like you're also going to be creating more financial freedom in your life come the end of the year because you're going to be meeting these bigger goals. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's like big travel plans that you are planning and looking forward to as well. And I do think that, you know, it's all like creating this more successful energy for you. There's so many good things in this pile group number 3. Like, let me just give you a round of applause for all these changes that you're making. October has the date of Friday the 13th, and 13 is coming up right here. And I know some people are averse to the number 13. Some people think it doesn't mean good things. However, on the contrary, there can actually be blessings within it. And something that's coming up for you is that Friday the 13th is actually going to be a special date for you for whatever reason. There might be something big happening on that day. There might be some exciting things. I do feel like it is a good thing that's happening on that day, by the way. So for those of you that are averse to Friday the 13th, I do actually feel like that's going to be one of your lucky days of like opening up more freedom, maybe having progress or success or something good that's cultivating around that time. Another important date for you, I feel like, is going to be October 17th. That's another one. Also the 31st, Halloween. So the 13 being backwards. The 31st is also going to be a big day for you where more freedom is being cultivated and all of that. So with that being said, let's dive into the last part of our reading where we're going to take our astro dice. First, we're going to take the zodiac sign dice. We're going to roll it 3 times to get the top 3 most likely zodiac signs that are going to be in your life through the month of October. And then we're going to be diving into all these dice together. I also want to mention just off the bat, these double pentacle cards that we have, pentacle energy is very strong for you, meaning the earth energy and the earth signs are very strong for you. So I feel like this is a month of gaining more stability, meeting all of your responsibilities and catching up on important things that, you know, maybe we just need to like hone down, sit down and like complete and finish and do. I see that that's going to work out really well for you. Planning is going to work out really well for you, and actually getting things done, getting through even the tough bits of it so that you can get to your end goal. That's going to be something big that you are cultivating and working on through October. But also these are connected to zodiac signs. So you may notice that Taurus energy, Virgo energy, and Capricorn energy are very prominent for you in your life. These could be people that you know that are going to be spending more time with you, or just the energies in general are very earthly and grounding, and it's just about, you know, focus and getting things done, creating balance, right? Creating a life where it's free, but we're also on top of it. It's really getting your ish together. So with that being said, let's go ahead and roll this dice 3 times to get the top 3 most likely zodiac signs other than those earth signs. We have Libra as one of your prominent zodiac signs that might be in your life. Aquarius, some air energy we got going on here. And Virgo. So Libra, Aquarius, and Virgo are the top 3 most likely zodiac signs to be prominent in your life through the month of October. These could even be a reflection of your own signs as well. And now let's go ahead and dive into rolling our dice all together to get any last info. So we have Uranus, the planet of unexpected change, in the zodiac sign of, why am I blanking? Sagittarius, it's on the tip of my tongue. And then the 11th house. Ooh! Some of you might be seeing long distance friends or family. That's something that's also coming up. So maybe there's going to be moments of being able to connect with them deeper through the month of October, like long distance friends or family. This could also indicate meeting somebody new that might live abroad, or even just seeing somebody from your past abroad or something like this, like some sort of connection to either making a new friend from afar or seeing people that you haven't seen in a long time that maybe you live at a distance from. So that's for some reason coming up here as well. Also with the Uranus energy, it changes things up in unexpected ways. So I feel like you are calling back your freedom to shift your life in unexpected ways. I feel like this is a spontaneous month for you of kind of just saying yes to certain things and kind of just diving in. Again, it's kind of like that Fool energy, which is also connected to the planet of Uranus, by the way. It's very connected to changing things up and sort of just looking at something and being like, you know what? I'm just gonna take a chance on that. I'm gonna do it, and I'm just gonna see how it plays out. So maybe you're gonna dive into something new that maybe you've been thinking about for a while, and now it's just like, let's just do it. Let's dive in, because the only way to figure it out, the only way to map it out is to just dive into it, to just do it, to take that chance, have faith, and take that leap of faith into it. Like literally Uranus in Sagittarius in the 11th house is so much the energy of leap of faith that you could ever come up with in astrology. Like that's what that says, is leap of faith. And being spontaneous about it and having that full trust, because the Sagittarius energy as well loves the spontaneity. It loves to just trust that let's just dive in and see what happens. And the Uranus Sagittarius 11th house energy also just very much knows how to navigate and how to make the best out of any scenario. And I feel like that is your energy for the month of October, is just this inner knowing that I'm going to make the best of it no matter what happens. So even when you dive into this new project, it's kind of like, well, I'm just going to continue learning and growing and moving forward. I'm going to just continue to have faith. I'm going to continue to navigate, right? Because the Sagittarius symbol, it's like it's navigating. It's the navigation energy and the navigation symbol. So you're just diving into it. And you're like, let me navigate it as I go, and I'm going to reach my end result. I'm going to get there because I'm just going to, that's just it. There's no other option. I'm just going to get there through navigating whatever comes up. And that's your energy through the month of October. And that's the energy of like success. That's the energy of, if you stick on that course of navigating and just figuring it out and creating the best from everything that comes your way. And if that's your focus, like, you're going to hit your target. You are going to hit your target. We have a lot of arrow energy here. There is a lot of Sagittarius energy for you, group number 3. I wouldn't be surprised if some of you are going through a Sagittarius moment of your life, or some of you might even have prominent Sagittarius energy in your natal birth chart in astrology. But yeah, tons of like this arrow energy. You're very focused this month, laser focused. You know exactly where you're going. You know the target you want to reach, and you're just navigating it as you go. Figuring it out as you go. Maybe even starting something new, but navigating it and navigating the twists and turns to hit your goal. So, whoo! Wow, pile number 3 is, I feel like I could literally still say more. And that's crazy, because normally in these readings, once I talk this much, I get to a point of being like, okay, I think we've kind of like deciphered everything that's coming up. But for you, group 3s, you have so much energy happening and going on right now. And I feel like, honestly, for you guys, through now to the end of this year, to the end of 2023, there's a lot of movement happening for you. There's a lot of like moving forward kind of energy. I'm also seeing travel in this, by the way. So some of you might be traveling before the end of the year, possibly even in the month of October. And yeah, I just see so much movement energy from now to the end of this year. And I also see even 2024 has a lot of movement to it as well. Like, you're not stagnant. You have a vision, you're going forward. There's a lot happening for you. And you have what it takes to reach your goal. I really have to make that clear. You have what it takes. You have so many cards that indicate that you're just doing it. If you just continue to navigate as you go, and no matter what comes your way, if you just continue to navigate your way through it, keeping your eyes on your goal, on your target, like, you're getting there. So trust the process. Trust what happens. Continue to do you. Continue to just make the best of everything and reach these visions, reach these goals, because you are reaching them. And again, you're going to notice a lot of progress in the month of October, and tons more progress through up until like December and even beyond. you're going to be reaching so many of these goals and just embracing more of who you are, loving who you are, finding more of your own beauty, awakening more of your own beauty, really taking care of yourself to the point where you feel more, luscious and all of that. So all good things here, group number 3. I'm going to close down this reading before I make this reading like a 3-hour long situation because there's so much energy for you, and I just can't wait to see what comes. I think we hit all of the main points here, but just expect lots of energy and lots of new things coming your way because there's a lot of energy for you. Anyway, I'm going to close out this reading now before I continue to go on. I'm sending you all so much love, my group number 3s. Thank you so much for joining me here today, and I'm wishing you so much luck and all the love, and see you next time. Bye! All right, my group number 4 is my last pile. If you chose this one, this is going to be a reading, so let's go ahead and dive right in. Okay, my group 4s, let's dive in. We have the Ace of Pentacles being reversed, the Fool being reversed, the Moon being reversed, and then the Page of Cups upright. So let's dive into your month of October. One of the things that I feel like you are currently focused on is to have a little bit more awareness when it comes to how you're spending your money or how you're spending your time or who you're kind of like giving it away to. I think that you're becoming a lot more conscious of like the things that you say yes to. And I feel like the month of October is going to be a lot focused on sort of saying no and putting up like stronger boundaries in order to kind of create a more stable environment when it comes to how much energy you have, and more stability when it comes to your money and your resources. It's just, I think it's going to be something that you're, again, really focused on because you're wanting to be a bit more conscious with where you spend your time and where you spend your money. I feel like there's certain things in your life right now that you kind of like look back on and you're like, why did I waste my money on that when I could have saved it for this other thing? I feel like, I got a message. I think a lot of you that chose this group, you're saving for something and there's like a big purchase that you really want to make, and so you know that you need to save for it. And I think the month of October, you're going to be almost like doing this experiment with yourself of like, let's see how much money I can not spend this month. Like, I think when it comes to the things that you want to buy, you're like, unless it's like an absolute yes, let me save it. And I think that you are like accumulating things for something in your future. And I think you're a lot more future oriented because you're wanting to, again, create more of a surplus for whatever this thing is, like in your future. And with the Fool being reversed, I feel like you're also wanting to be more conscious with your decisions. Maybe you've been feeling a little bit lately like every time you make a decision, you kind of make it on a whim. It's really spontaneous. It feels good in the moment. But then maybe you look back at it and you're like, maybe I wasn't like reaching the actual goal that I've been wanting to reach. Oh, I just got this huge message that a lot of you have had like a really big goal in mind, that maybe you've even had this goal in mind for like a year or more, but maybe it still hasn't come to fruition, and maybe it's making you a little bit frustrated, and maybe you're realizing that the reason why it's not coming to fruition is because we keep making these spontaneous yeses and saying these spontaneous yeses to things in the moment that seem good. But then in the long term, we're like, wow, that took away my time, right? Because the pentacles are like our time, our money, and our resources, and our material world. And so maybe it's like we keep kind of allocating our yeses towards things that are like short-term pleasures, but they aren't like a real investment towards what we actually really want. So I think in the month of October, you're going to be sort of defining this new schedule. Maybe you're going to start tracking your finances. Maybe you're going to start tracking your time a little bit more. Maybe you're going to become a lot more deliberate on how you spend your time, and again, saying no a lot more so that you can actually allocate your time and your energy and your resources and your material world towards, those more long-term visions. But part of you, okay, here's another side of the story. Part of you, I feel like, has almost doubted your ability to make this vision come to life, which is also kind of why you've been sort of unconsciously not fully investing into it yet because maybe you doubt your ability. When the Fool is reversed, we sometimes like over question and overthink things, and we're like, who am I to dive into that? Like, who am I to do that? You know, or we think like, maybe I need a lot more planning before I ever start that thing or start even moving in that direction or taking action towards that, right? So maybe you feel like there's a lot more thought that needs to be put forward first. And so maybe that's also why we have this going on is, you know, the Ace of Pentacles being reversed can indicate that we're not even planting the seed because maybe we don't know enough about actually growing the seed to be confident in actually planting it. So I think also in the month of October is your month to plan, to actually develop this idea, to do your research and create more surety, to create more of a foundation for whatever this is, so that you feel comfortable taking that leap and actually planting it and investing your time and energy and all of that into this thing, right? Sometimes we need to like think about it further. Sometimes we need to develop that further so that we can have that like inner knowing and that inner trust in ourselves and in our future to move forward. And I see you doing that in October. Like I see you really developing things and taking your time and being a lot more conscious with how you're spending your time. And again, creating more of this foundation for yourself so that you feel good about it. Also with the moon being reversed here, this can indicate that maybe we have a lot of like fears about the unknown. Maybe we're not wanting to like fully do all this because again, it's like the unknown. Maybe it's not fully in our vision yet. But one of the paradoxes here is that it's never going to be in your vision unless you take the time to research it, learn it, think about it, contemplate it, plan it, take time for it, develop it, you know? Like we're never going to feel like it's the right time. This can also indicate that it doesn't feel like the right time to move forward on something. But we're never going to feel like it's the right time until we start kind of investing some time towards it, at least towards developing the idea further. So the month of October, I feel like there's all these epiphanies and realizations on this, and I see that you're actually going to be making a change, Page of Cups, into walking into this new doorway, exploring this new idea, actually making time for it and developing it. I think you're going to be much more open to creating a more solid structure to develop that idea and move towards all of that and do all the things. So that's going to be nice. Let's dive into some more cards here. Also, I want to say Page of Cups is really creative. The fact that you have the Page of Cups coming up here, the month of October for you is going to be full of creativity, full of like emotions that want to be explored, that want to be developed. The Page of Cups can also indicate invitations or emotional developments that are exciting and positive, and we're excited to seek them out further and dive in deeper into these things that are calling us emotionally. Like you might have an emotional calling towards whatever this is, or there might even be something exciting sort of coming up in the month of October that you can look forward to. Some of you might get invited to something really exciting, for example, and you're excited to like walk through that door. But I would also highly recommend working on this as well, and not just doing 100% of your time into some other invitation. Of course, it's still nice to like have a balance of time, take on invitations, do those things. But we do need to make sure that we're making time for those things that have been important to us. Like I feel like you really value whatever this thing is. You really want to manifest this thing, and it's been delayed and it hasn't come to fruition. But again, the reason being is because we need to allocate more of our time in that direction in order for it to even develop, right? So more of the cards. Let's dive in further. So we have Fatima, the mother of imams. Love is my lineage. Also, sorry if I pronounce things so funny sometimes, like, I don't know. Love is my lineage and gratitude is my religion. Love is my lineage and gratitude is my religion. I think that if you want to develop something, put more love into it. Also putting love into yourself. Practicing gratitude. Page of Cups, maybe you're going to start a new habit in the month of October. And maybe it's giving more love, giving more gratitude, maybe even expressing to people how much they mean to you. It might be an important kind of change that you're doing in the month of October. We also have the goddess of light. We are all sacred mirrors reflecting back the same light. We are all sacred mirrors reflecting back the same light. This is kind of reminding me of relationships. You might have a relationship in your life, maybe some of you have a friendship. And in this friendship, maybe this person has been talking a lot about doing something that they've always dreamed of, but you can see in them, they haven't taken the action to actually do it. They haven't made the changes that they need to. And I wonder if this relationship is a mirror for you right now to kind of see the changes that you need to make in order to reach your goals. And maybe you're going to be doing it together with a friend this month and kind of maybe even holding each other accountable to making certain change in your life. Maybe even making that change together. We also have the diamond-hearted Dakini. I see the light in my own darkness. I face my ego beliefs to feel free. Oh, that's powerful for you, my love. Oh, I see the light in my own darkness. So what are those things in your life that you've been sort of denying or putting off? Those subconscious habits where we tend to kind of say yes and get pulled away from the big things that we actually want. You'd think that it would be easy to put time and energy to those big goals that we really want to manifest, but it actually ends up kind of not being sometimes because we get sucked into, again, our old habits and old things like that. So if you can see the light in your own sort of shadows, in your own darkness, right? And the darkness is our subconscious, right? Our subconscious habits, patterns, and routines. When you can see the light there and bring light, so bringing consciousness, bringing awareness to those unconscious habits that we have so that you can actually transform them so that you don't fall into, again, putting off your actual dreams and goals. Face my ego beliefs to feel free. So face your beliefs. Is there a belief that you're not worthy of this? Is there a belief that you're not capable of achieving this manifestation? And is that why we've been putting it off? Once you can face those beliefs, you can free yourself of them. So if you can bring awareness to those limiting beliefs that have been holding you back from manifesting the life that you really want, that's when you can set yourself free. And I think in the month of October, you're going to be bringing light to that. Page of Cups that we have over here. You are bringing emotional awareness to the areas in your life where you feel like you've been falling short. And in doing so, you're going to be able to transform that. The diamond-hearted Dakini. The diamond is the strongest mineral crystal in the world. It has this the hardest Mohs hardness. And so I feel like this is talking about your internal capabilities. You are way stronger than you think, but it's how we apply that strength. Are we applying it? So I feel like the month of October is again about applying that strength that you innately have. Okay, and then let's dive into our next cards. We have the Odyssey. I actually love this card. This is one of my favorites. It's so magical in my opinion. So offer, treasure, celebrate. Odyssey. I think that, okay, celebrate your success, even the small wins. I feel like that's going to motivate you more than anything to manifesting this goal, creating this Odyssey, is to treasure this goal, to celebrate your progress along that path to that goal. Like I see that this, which also almost looks like the Parthenon. I think that's supposed to be like the Parthenon. This represents your goal, okay? You're on this trek. If you can celebrate your progress along the way, you're not gonna give up and walk back. Let's say you're on this long path, and let's say you get over the bridge and you're like, oh my God, there's still how much more to walk? There's still how much more to go? And we end up giving up and just walking back and we're like, let me do another goal. No, don't do that. So instead, when we celebrate your small wins and you're like, oh, look I just crossed the bridge, I made it, I did it. That means I can do the rest. That means I can keep going. When you can celebrate yourself, when you can celebrate that progress, you keep yourself motivated to reaching that goal. So one of the things that I'm seeing for you is to Celebrate your success along the way, even the small wins. Even the small wins. Let's say you're trying to save up money, and let's say you save up $50 that month. Celebrate it. Even if you save $10 that month, whatever you end up saving, celebrate. Even if it's a small win, celebrate. And that will inspire you to do even more. That will inspire you to take it even further. Okay, we also have devotee. So committing to what it is that you want. Ace of Pentacles, when it's reversed, is a lack of commitment. Where has there been a lack of commitment in your life towards what you really, really want? Because if you really commit yourself, if you fully give it your all, that's when you can acquire. That's when you actually emerge and you feel like you can take action. You're inspired. You're dedicated to it. So I think that this is your month of also dedicating to a certain goal, making yourself certain promises that you're not going to break. Okay? Making yourself promises that you're actually going to keep, because that's one way to build confidence like no other. If you make a promise to yourself and you don't keep it, you are stealing your confidence, because now you're not going to rely on yourself. Imagine that you have a friend that constantly goes against their word. They'll make you a promise, but then they won't keep it. You're eventually going to lose trust and lose respect with that person, but we don't even realize that we do it to ourselves a lot without even realizing it. And then unconsciously, we actually lose trust and respect in our own words, in our own selves. So if you really want to cultivate like self-confidence, if you want to cultivate trust in yourself to where you know you can reach a goal, set small goals for yourself at first and stick to them, just so you can start showing yourself and developing that new subconscious habit and that new subconscious trust and respect for yourself. So set some small goals and start off one week by saying like, oh, for 2 minutes a day, I'm gonna do blah, 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 whatever it is. Like I'm gonna work out, or I'm gonna do like at least 2 push-ups a day. Start with that or something. Whatever it is, start off with a small goal that is gonna help you progress towards the big goal that you have. But it's gonna help you kind of like, start gaining more rapport with yourself, because you're again sticking to your word on things. It is such a habit hack. There's actually this book called Atomic Habits by James Clear. He actually talks about like, sticking to what you say you're going to do and creating that respect for yourself and that rapport and that trust. And then it helps out with creating like the bigger habits and the bigger changes. And it helps us reach like way bigger goals, because again, then we actually start believing in ourselves. If you have doubt that you can reach a goal, and if you have doubt that you're good enough for it or whatever, it might come through this lack of trust and lack of respect for yourself, through like not keeping your own promises to yourself and falling short on those. So again, when we can change that story and prove to ourselves otherwise, then we start changing everything. And when you can start small and work your way up to the big stuff, that's where this actually works, instead of trying to take on big things right away. So yeah, start with the small stuff, work your way up, and tons of stuff will change. We also have, look at this card. This is my other like favorite one in this deck actually. This one is the Magic Maker. Captivate, touch, tantalize, sense. This is your month. I feel like you're actually going to be captivated, actually. I feel like you're going to be captivated by a new goal and a new vision for yourself. And I feel like you're almost gonna be able to like taste it and touch it and sense it, because you're like, wait a minute, I really want to achieve that. Let me dive into thinking about it deeper and making time for that, to where I can actually feel and sense it. And now I can go after it, because now I have this intuitive calling. My intuition's guiding me properly, because I've planned it enough to where now I can really sense it. And through sensing it, you know what action to take and all of that. So, lots of good stuff there. Magic Maker. This is going to be a powerful month of transformation for you, Group 4. Like a very powerful month of transforming like old habits that were not working and being able to make new ones that really do work for you. Also, this candle is just going out now. Endless possibilities. This is like what you're creating for the month of October, endless possibilities. I think that these changes that you're going to be inspired and motivated to make are unlocking a whole new world for you of endless possibilities. I think you're opening up your mind to so much more potential, because of how you are shifting your relationship with yourself and shifting all things in your life. We also have a powerful move. Oh my gosh. There is going to be a shift that you make and a choice that you end up making and sticking to in the month of October, and it is going to be such a powerful change for you. It's going to be such a powerful move that you make. Honestly, I think that this is such a strategic moment, even if you don't even see it as that. Even if it's like some small tweak or change or something, you know, a promise that you keep to yourself or whatever, or a boundary that you create. This is actually going to be so much more powerful in the bigger picture, because I really think that this is the magic maker. You doing this move, sticking to this plan, sticking to this habit. This is going to be such a powerful move for you. Oh, I cannot wait to see what happens for you. I see it also, by the way, in 2024, like because of this change that you're making, because of this transformation in 2024, you're like a whole new you. And there's actually going to be massive shifts that are happening to where you're almost going to look back at like early 2023. And there is such a big difference between who you were then versus who you're about to be in this 2024 year and who you're actually creating right now here in the month of October. There's such a big like difference in the best way possible. Like you are making powerful moves this month that are really going to pay off for you in this next year to take you towards like bigger goals, bigger dreams that you've had, to where you can actually see progress. Things are actually manifesting. They're not delayed anymore. They're really truly moving forward. Okay, let's dive into some more cards here. My group fours, let's see. We have the card of protection. So guardians of the land, protection. One thing to know is that you are like divinely protected. When it comes to your certain fears of like failure or other things like that, Spirit wants you to know that any obstacle or challenge that you reach is always going to be working in your divine favor, whether or not you realize it in that moment. The universe is also sending you signs, by the way. Like really wild nature animals, I think, have been your sign lately to change things up, to shift things, to step into your power. Yeah, you're being divinely protected through, and like everyone is. We all have guardian angels. Like we all have these spirit teams that are looking out for us, that are keeping us good. But truly, like, I feel like there's this sense from your guardian angels, and they want you to know like, hey, nothing is going wrong. Like, keep trusting that all of these things that are happening are in your divine alignment. Okay, let's see what else we get for you, my loves. Group 4. I'm surprised that this candle is still going. Let's see. We also have retreat. I think it's time also in the month of October, you're going to be like taking a break from your regular schmegular routines. You're going to be sort of retreating, maybe even taking more time for yourself so that you can again move towards those bigger visions, those bigger promises, and retreating from like the regular routines that you've had. I think that this retreat, this alone time that you're creating, is going to be very beneficial for you in creating the change that you've been wanting to change. This is almost reminding me of a little bit of like isolation. So you might actually be like canceling plans or saying no to certain things to really hone in and focus on those promises that you're wanting to keep for yourself. So that's another thing, an aspect that we have there for your month of October. Let's go ahead now and dive into our Astro Dice. We're going to take our zodiac sign dice. We're going to roll it 3 times to get the top 3 most likely zodiac signs to be in your life through the month of October. Let's see. We have Libra. Libra's coming up for a lot of people. Libra's been out and about in the month of October, but I guess it's also like Libra season, especially like early October. We also have Virgo, Libra, Virgo, Libra again. Okay, Libras, hello. And Leo. Libra, Virgo, and Leo, which are all signs that are like back to back, which is kind of interesting because we go Leo, Virgo, Libra. That's kind of like the sequence from end of July to mid-October, which is interesting. So anyway, those look like they are the most prominent signs for you. Things are like very sequential in your life right now. It's time to look at what is the next step I can take, even if it's small. What is that next step so I can begin kind of creating those changes and making progress in the areas that I've been wanting to make the progress. Let's also go ahead and dive into some more cards here. Or not cards. What am I saying? Astrodice, all the astrodice. The sun in Leo, which is its home sign, in the 6th house of getting stuff done, responsibilities, focusing on your schedule, your routine, doing the things that are going to bring you progress and success. This is time to like spotlight those things. This is time to highlight what you need to do. And that's what you're going to be doing in the month of October. If not, maybe you've already been starting to do those things where you're highlighting, like this Leo energy is very much highlighting what you need to do. What are the most important things to get done? What are the most powerful moves that we can make in the month of October to make progress? What I'm also seeing for you in work, there might be an opportunity to highlight some of your best work, or maybe even you're wanting a little bit more of the spotlight. Maybe you're wanting to sort of climb higher in your career to gain more reputability or to gain more sort of audience or clientele or viewership within your career. That's also going to be something that I feel like you really have the opportunity for in the month of October through making these powerful moves, making these powerful changes, and taking action. I think that you have the capabilities of achieving more attraction and attention towards what you're doing and what you're creating to be able to expand your career. So that's also coming up here. Let's see if I see anything else in these astrodice for you. So the sun, very spotlighty energy, especially with Leo in the 6th house. Ooh. Really focusing on, I think, again, highlighting your schedule, highlighting your routine. This could also be highlighting your fitness too, because fitness and working out is also like in the 6th house. So maybe you're also going to be highlighting your health, your fitness. There might even be part of you that wants to show off what you've been working on, or to like, yeah, maybe there's something that you're gonna be working on in October that you're like, oh, hey, look at what I've been moving towards. Look at what I've been creating. Look at what I've been doing and working on. Sometimes it can be nice to like show progress to other people in order to get like feedback or in order to get support. So that might be another like important aspect for you within the month of October. And I honestly feel like pulling another card for you. I'm also gonna restart my camera really quickly. It's about to cut out. Hold on. All right. Let's get one more of these cards for you. My group 4s, that one's wanting to come out. So let's get 2 more. Okay, so we have energy, the fire spirit, getting fired up about something, like lighting up your inspiration, lighting up your inner flame in the month of October. Fire energy could also be prominent, especially since we have the sun in Leo, which is like such fire energy. And then the earth spirit of stability. So how can we match our fire energy of our inspiration, the thing that we really want to go towards and create, and how can we create a solid and sturdy plan that we can follow so that we actually get the results that we want. Also, I'm hearing a message that I really feel like telling to you guys, my group 4s. You might think that you need all of the fanciest gear, all of the fanciest stuff. You might feel as if you need to invest so much money into, all this professional either equipment or whatever in order to achieve a goal that you want. Spirit is coming through right now being like, let that belief go. You have everything that you need right now. You have all the resources to conjure up something to get started now, and you can invest along the way. You don't need to like put yourself into financial ruin or, go all out on something that you can begin right now. There's no reason why you cannot begin right now. You might be thinking like, oh my God, I need the fancy stuff. I'm gonna give this example right now, which might sound silly, but take the example of Mr. Beast. He's like the biggest YouTuber probably in the world now. I think he's the biggest one in the world now. But anyway, really successful guy. He started his YouTube channel with like the worst equipment imaginable. And he made it to where he is. He did not start with like the fanciest stuff. He barely had any money when he began, but he invested and grew along the way. And that is one of your messages right now, is to grow along the way. You do not need all of the latest equipment, all of the fanciest stuff to begin. We learn as we go, and we're also able to invest in more success and more growth by moving forward and going and doing right now. For some reason, that message is coming through loud right now for you, group number 4. So if you've been thinking that you need like all the fanciest gadgets and all of the fanciest gear in order to be successful, no, you do not. You can invest along the way when you have the resources to do so. So yeah, that's also wanting to come through as a message. I'm also wanting to end this off on one more message. I just feel like pulling tons of cards for you right now, group 4. Let's take out this deck again. Let's try to get one last card for you. One last message for Spirit to leave you off with for your month of October. Any last things to say for the month of October? Spirit's thinking right now. Okay. Oh, something wanted to kind of come out there, but it didn't. Focus. Wizard of the Woods, focus. That is your last card for the month of October, is to, what is your target? What do you need to focus on? And, oh, I'm hearing letting go of distractions. If you get distracted really easily, like if you pull out your phone at random times, and realize that you like oh my gosh, it can become doom scrolling. Like you could get sucked into a black hole on your phone, especially if you open up certain apps that are just so time consuming, but we don't even realize it because time just flies when we use them. Maybe set like timers that you're allowed to spend on those apps per day, maybe even turn off your phone at certain times, but focusing is going to be of major benefit for you in the month of October. I feel like you can reach really big things and create really big, massive shifts in your life through using the power of focus and also learning how to focus more. You might also be somebody that maybe it's been hard to have a long-term focus on something for a while, but you can work on building that muscle. It's like a muscle. Your ability to focus and do things is a muscle. And when we can work on growing that muscle more, it can be to our wild benefit. So, I'm seeing like unlocking your wizarding magic. Like really believe in yourself. That's a message coming through here. Believe in yourself. Whenever you tend to doubt yourself, realize that you have limitless potential in those areas. Work your magic, okay? Work your magic and realize there's endless possibilities. You are powerful. You can make a powerful move in any moment, but your self-image, your view of yourself has a major impact on your ability and your performance and all of that. So when you begin to see yourself as somebody who can have really good focus, who can have really good memory and really good stability and really good success, and who gets things really easily and does things really fast, you can be that, but start seeing yourself that way. And then you're going to begin to develop that. So that's the last message coming through for you, group number 4. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I am sending you so much love. If you made it to the end of this reading, oh my goodness, kudos for you. Thank you so much for joining me here today and for these readings. I absolutely love doing these readings for you all. And hopefully this resonated and brought some good insight. Spirit had a lot of advice on this reading, but it looks like it's leading to a lot of really, really good, like powerful change in your life that is going to help liberate you and help you achieve the stability, help you achieve more energy, help you achieve more success and material abundance and material successes. Like the Earth Spirit is very much also material successes. You are leading yourself towards those material successes through making those powerful moves this month, setting those proper boundaries, saying no to the things that have been pulling away your focus and pulling away your time. So yeah, through those powerful changes, lots of good things coming your way, my loves. Thank you again so much for being here. I'm sending you all so much love, and until next time, bye.